So we're now going to try and capture ourselves a floater if we can. We also need to try and capture one of the outsiders as well, because that'll lead to the next part of the major plot. So we've got quite important captures that we need to do at the moment. And also we just got to train people up as well. Next opportunity we get to get decent people we've got to take.
Strike one is ready to secure the craft.
Copy, Big Sky. Strike one is clear to attempt the breach.
So what's going to happen, these guys are going to form a temporary unit. They're just going to all work together as one unit. And round the back, Hawkeye's just going to keep an eye on things.
They got me flanked.
Not for long. Because, like normal, Hawkeye's there to save the day. And we're just going to take some pot shots here because we just need to try and drive the things back. Because unfortunately, we have one person out in trouble. So now things have calmed down a little bit. We can get ourselves all prepared. And that is probably going to deal with all the aliens on the outside, so we don't have much else to deal with. Hawkeye is going to go find himself a decent vantage point. If he gets higher, then he can take some nice pot shots.
Roger. I've got my eyes on. Come get some. What the hell was that?
So with Hawkeye now in position, everybody is now free to move up. Fortunately, we're a little bit spread out at the moment, so
Covering now.
Roger. Got my eyes on.
Got it covered.
Contact. Target's still up.
so it's a few more sectoids. If we can capture them, we can get hold of some alien weaponry. So the first thing to do is just kind of thin their numbers out a bit.
Dead and gone.
And of course, Hawkeye again proves his skill. But what we're going to do in order to try and give everybody the opportunity, we're going to move up and hunker down. Because the nice thing with hunkering down is the aliens really can't get that good a shot at you.
They're starting to lose ground.
We are slowly moving up the guy with the arc thrower, so
Overwatch.
And having a couple of guns on the alien just kind of gets them a little bit worried, and so they don't always act.
Yeah.
Quiet. Did you hear something?
So we've driven off the aliens, which are kind of on the outside, so we got a chance to try and capture any ones that are inside
Got my eyes
now.
on. Roger that. Scanning.
To withstand an impact like that, at such a velocity, the materials used in that vessel's hull must be at least an order of magnitude beyond any element we know of.
Now, you can't actually do much from here, but what you can do is just kind of keep an eye and just make sure nothing comes around the side on us. Now, we'll probably move him shortly, because he's not in a very good defensive position.
Back in. Roger. I've got my eyes on.
So we now got everybody ready to do the breach. So there's a whole bunch of newbies who've got to do the breach, but it looks like there's an alien behind them over here. So before they do anything else, they got to come deal with this lot.
The alien flight computer could prove to be extremely useful in our own research. Please take great care in returning it to the base in one piece.
Well, we'll do our best. If it has to get blown up, it will get blown up.
Overwatch. Aye, aye. Affirmative. Covering now. Eyes peeled, Commander.
So it says one in the room here, there's some over here.
What was that?
They could be outside.
Eyes on target.
But no, there it is. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use the grenade. Kind of eliminate as much cover as possible for this thing, but also guarantee some damage.
Go out!
So now he can enter where though? If he comes to here, he's in stunning range, but also has some cover.
Nighty night.
Then we just
Excellent work. We'll begin analyzing this new artifact as soon as you return.
We might get lucky. That might be some floaters.
You hear that?
On Overwatch.
I'm on it. Overwatch.
So, our little team is starting to... They're kind of showing a good cohesion here. They managed to work together. They managed to help each other out here and not absolutely screwed each other over.
There's
But
something
it
out there.
looks like the aliens are actually outside, so this room is likely to be clear. Where is that alien? It's the Thin Men. Well, we might as well try and either weaken or get rid of one.
Damn it, missed the target.
Because it's always a lot easier to go after just one than a whole bunch of them. Oh, so that's severely wounded one of them as well. It may have driven one of them into view, and it has.
Overwatch. Aye, aye.
Now, because where that alien is should mean it's going to be a bit easier for us to capture it. Ow. Anderson survives, but is severely wounded by for it. All we can really do is just lend a little bit of support.
Damn it.
And this is where the disabling shot, I would have preferred to have waited, but we kind of need to try and keep our people alive here.
Damn it. Enemy is still alive.
And what we do need to do is try and provide a better target. And one of the ways of doing that is by risking somebody else's life. Now this group has worked well together, so it might be worth doing that. They can survive a hit. So of course if the poison comes out, which is usually their first action, doesn't hit the wounded person. So she takes one for the team.
No, please, no, no.
Now it's a little bit too far out, I believe, to actually just get in and try a stun. It's kind of close, but we can try another disabling shot.
Neutralizing target.
So that should hopefully have stopped it from being able to actually injure or do any kind of a poison attack. We can heal up him,
You're bitching.
and then we can try and go to here and see what happens. It's kind of the best shot he's going to get.
Sleep tight.
And we stun it.
Target stunned. Ride the lightning.
Nobody lost, just one person pretty badly wounded, but that's not too much a problem. We do capture 2 aliens for that.
Is that all that's left of the specimen we attempted to capture?
Yes. I believe we may have found the source of the strange readings we picked up when we first encountered it.
What is it, Doctor?
We're not exactly sure. It's organic in nature, yet highly magnetized, and it appears to resonate very faintly within a specific electromagnetic spectrum. It is currently unclear how or...
And perhaps that's because this is outside your field of expertise, Doctor. If what you're saying is true, this object is an antenna, one that's receiving a signal.
That signal. Can we trace it?
No, at least not yet. We would first need to determine its encryption algorithm.
My team can handle that.
In that case, I will focus on constructing an interface between this object and our global communications array, which we'll need to trace the signal.
Then it looks like researching this crystal should be our top priority.
Ah. Well, unsurprisingly, our sergeant has managed to go up yet again. Now, this is where we kind of get a choice here. Weakened creatures we can kill a lot more easily, or when we take a reaction shot, we don't get an aim penalty and we can cause critical hits. However, after playing this a bit, you'll tend to be going for most of the shots yourself, and you'll tend to target. So an additional hit to wounded targets, especially seeing that some of them get bloody powerful, it's kind of helpful. We do get another sniper, and we get ourselves an assault guy, or woman, after a long while.
Another live capture? Please give my thanks to the main commander. I know it can't be an easy task trying to bring them in alive. You can trust that the research team will make it worth the trouble.
And what we're also going to do is we're going to flog off all these damaged units. We've kind of been desperate for some money recently. Now, also, Canada and Mexico are starting to build up panic. So one of the nice things is we can actually start doing is we can start looking at more facilities.
That twisted hulk of flesh and metal, driven by the alien technology, can we still call that life? We have to keep moving forward with the project, but the thought of treading the same path as the aliens is troubling. What if they were like us once? Are we just part of a continuing cycle? If this is a glimpse of our future, I want no part of it.
So we're going to get the third satellite out just before the council report, which is just as well. So we can reduce the panic for 3 areas. Now we can start developing beam weapons. But what we're going to do first is we're going to interrogate the sectoid. pretty soon we're going to also have the officer training school. Now this is kind of an important one. This is where we can start getting our additional troops.
Officer training school online.
So if we go for the officer training school, as you can see, a little bit more money, we can get the increased squad size, which we are going to actually sell off something. Let's sell off some alien alloys, just one fragment of it. Because that way we can now go... we can go to the officer training school and we can purchase the increased squad size. It means we can take 5 people out with us. It's going to kind of make a big difference.
So, how'd it go, Doctor?
Better than expected. Before the creature expired, I was able to extract some new information from it.
You're saying that thing spoke to you?
Not precisely, but when you have access to a creature's brain, certain patterns can be discerned, recent images and thoughts.
And what exactly was our late friend thinking about?
This particular image appeared in the creature's thought patterns several times throughout the procedure.
We've already met that thing, Doctor. This is hardly the kind of breakthrough we were...
And there was a neural link in the creature's mind between this image and this one.
That's the thing that pulled a disappearing act when we shot down our first UFO. And let me guess, you want to poke around in its head too.
It is the next piece of the puzzle. And this time, instead of shooting it, I suggest we try to capture it alive.
Okay, so one of the reasons why I held off on researching the additional stuff is because we get beam weapon research. Now that would have meant that I could have researched the lasers faster, but it does speed up things like heavy laser. No, it'll speed up stuff like light plasma research. No, it does speed up heavy lasers because we get the research credit. So you see, instead of taking quite a while, this only takes a few days. Now, we also have got the Thin Men, which we can interrogate. That's going to take 4 days. Now, we're going to hold off on the outsider shot, because that's going to lead us to the next piece of the technology. So you see, the plasma stuff we just can't research at the moment. So, get some more research credits, always handy.
In times of war, there's always a leader, a general, someone giving the orders. These aliens can be no different.
And here is our first terror mission.
Looks like they've changed their tactics. But why? Why do this?
It's a message to the entire world that nothing can stop them.
Yes, we've got chrysalids to deal with. Oh, typical. We got enough room for 5 people, but we can only take 4. Because we've just not had enough money to buy anybody, and we've not been able to replace anyone. So, we're going to have a 4-man team when we could have had a 5-man team. So, what we've got... just going to set everybody up now, just for the moment. We're going to take some arc throwers. No, we're going to take 2 arc throwers. We're going to have no grenades to clear out any territory or anything like that. Now, so we've got 2 snipers. So they're going to team up here. We're not going to go with red. Red has proven very unlucky. Well, what we are going to go is we're going to go with the blue team. Now, that means these 2 are going to form up in teams like this. So we got one acting as sniper, providing backup for the other while they move forward. Each of these 2 are going to be taking some arc throwers, but we really could do with another scope. We kind of need to make sure we absolutely hit these things.
As the alien attacks have become more frequent, our casualty rate has climbed. Our troop shortage is becoming a problem. We should start screening potential candidates at the barracks immediately.
Dr. Valen's interrogation technique certainly is efficient. You'd never know it by looking at her, but that woman is an alien's worst nightmare.
We kind of also need to buy some more equipment. We pretty desperately need another scope. We also need to really try and get hold of some of these laser equipment. We're going to need a lot more than that. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to dump off one of the flight computers. We can get more of those, and the bodies are kind of going to be vital for other stuff later. So what I also now need to do is double check the soldiers, because the equipment is going to be quite important, especially considering with the assault. Because the shotgun damage is base 4. Laser rifle is base 5, and it's also got higher critical damage, less of a critical chance, but not by a whole lot. So a couple of laser rifles is going to be absolutely vital here. Whilst we're at it, also another scope would be very handy. And a couple of laser pistols, because the laser pistols will be needed for our snipers in case they need to move, and just every little bit of equipment which helps bump up their damage is going to help here. Because yeah, see, the damage difference is not a lot. You see, that's base 2. That's base 1. And also you can actually cause some actual decent critical damage with it as well, so just gives them a chance, bit better of a fighting chance. So we got everybody that we could need in order to take on this terror mission. We got a little bit of credits left over. We've got the satellites coming out. We kind of got to make this, because if we don't, we're going to get panic all over. We're going to have 2 countries go into panic. We're going to have more than we can actually handle. We're also going to need to get hold of another fighter from somewhere to also cover over here, so we're going to have to make something sell at some point. So it's going to get a little bit awkward here. So it's cutting it fine, but we'll get another month, and we're also going to have to start looking at getting some more places. We need to try and focus also on some of the rich countries so that we can get a lot of money in next month, because we're going to need every single thing that we can get hold of. Okay, well, that's going to be it for now. Hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.